Hello and welcome to your Thoughts in the Green Room with your host, Jeff Mays. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I've been off on vacation, rock climbing in Kentucky, and I was down in New York for a couple of days to open a premiere show to Jane with Love. Great hit down there in New York as well as it was up here at the Toronto Fringe Festival. So now I'm back home and happy to share my thoughts on acting in the world. Here we are, week number one once again, and what do we have for you this week is the topic on letting go. Now, as an actor, I've talked to you about our ability to be responsive to actors or to be reactive to our scene partners, and I've also talked to you about the idea of being vulnerable, opening up yourself so that you can easily access your emotions. And today I want to talk about this concept of letting go. As an actor, I've got to do all of my scene preparation. I have to take a look at the direction of the scene. I've got to understand the character intention and motivation. I've got to understand what I want to achieve in the scene, and I have to fight diligently for it. Once all that homework is done, I get on stage or I get on set, and I have to work with my scene partner to bring this to life. The best way this is done, of course, is by listening. And it becomes my job primarily, or at least in my perspective anyway, it becomes the actor's job primarily to A, listen to your scene partner, and then let go of all the homework, let go of all the plotting and planning that has been done, and allow the response and the reactiveness to what you've actually heard come out of you naturally. Just let it go. Now, this idea of letting go, I don't know if it's a technical term for actors. I'm sure there's probably a technical term for it. But for me, I'm going to stick with this term of letting go because it truly is this idea where I just allow myself to let stuff come out of me, like almost verbal diarrhea. Almost verbal diarrhea. And to that idea, this letting go, I was thinking about the application across the board, and I feel that letting go is an important life lesson for everyone. Not just the actor, so that they can respond truthfully and let things come out of them, but for everyone. I think that one of the challenges that humanity faces is this idea of bottling things up. I know, at least in North American culture and many other places where I visited, if someone is upset about something, or even if they're just uncomfortable with something, the idea is that it gets bottled up. And in bottling it up, it gets stored and eventually one day explodes into something much bigger than it could possibly be. So, this concept of letting go for me as an actor, I think, is an important life lesson for everyone. It's the idea of letting fly freely, if that makes any sense to anybody, letting things fly freely from you in the moment that you're affected by them. I don't know, let's say you're sitting at home with your spouse and your spouse says something that bothers you. It's not a huge thing. We're not talking, an argument that's going to ensue for days on end because of this little comment. But it's just some backhanded little thing. You're like, I don't like the way that feels. And I think that's kind of rude. Well, most people would bottle that up. And I make the suggestion that this is a moment to let go and speak your mind. Just let things flow. And the key is that it happens in the moment. It doesn't happen 3 days later. You say, hey, honey, do you remember when you said? It happens in the moment because you let go of your propriety and what you think should happen, and you address things in the moment. That exact same application happens on something on a more positive side. Your spouse says something that's important to you and makes you feel good. Well, let go of the idea that you can't talk about emotions or something like that and say, hey, this is a moment when you just made me feel really good, or I feel really excited by what you said. And you let go of all the barriers that may be in your way to express truly and fully in the moment. As an actor, I have to do that all the time with my scene partner based on the research and the rehearsal and the practice that I've done for that scene. When I hear what they say to me, I have to let go of it to respond truthfully in that moment. I think it's a life lesson for everybody. So it brings me around, obviously, to your challenge this week, which is to live your moments and let go. When somebody says something to you or you're affected by something, live it in the moment. Let go of everything that gets in your way and speak about it. Say thank you to that person who's affected you. Say, hey, that offends me to that person. You don't have to be rude or raucous about it. Just voice it. See what happens. I know on stage it brings great results. See if it brings great results in your life. Those are your thoughts on the green room, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.